Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, September the 30th, 2023. I am Gerald Bryan. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, JAGDEO lauds investors' overwhelming confidence as new West Central Mall opens. School grants hitting the nail on its head for Hinterland needs head teachers. Government taking swift action to strengthen prison security, BENN. Modern ways needed for increased production, AGRI Minister. And Minister BENN concerned about gender disparity among inmates in rehab programs. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that the physical landscape and economy of Region 3, Essequibo Islands, West Demerara, continue to be transformed with projects such as the billion-dollar West Central Mall that was opened on Friday evening at Lenora, West Coast, Demerara. In this report, you will hear that Vice President Barry JAGDEO has said these investments are reflective of the confidence that the private sector has in the current People's Progressive Party civic government. Let's have a look.
Boasting of a diverse shopping experience with over 50 stores, various fast food restaurants, as well as a fine dining restaurant, a bar and lounge, and the largest kids' play area equipped with a ball pit pool, slides, mini trampoline, and a zip line, the West Central Mall is a family venture undertaken by Hemraj Albert, his wife, and children. One of the main features of the 98,000 square feet facility is its two-screen theater that has 2D and 3D capacity. Vice President Barry JAGDEO said at the opening ceremony on Friday evening that a lot of investors have noticed and are taking advantage of the pro-business signal being sent by the PPPC administration.
An economy operates as much on confidence as it operates on the fiscal incentives. And when you speak with the private sector across this country, they're overwhelmingly confident about the direction of the country that our country is going in, and the supporting facilities of the PPP civic government, its ability to chart a course to ensure that we achieve those results. And that is why, not just here in this venture, but right across the country, you see similar facilities being put in place.
However, the Vice President posited that while government has been creating an enabling environment for investors, there are some challenges that it has to grapple with, such as high prices of building materials and shortage of skilled labor. In fact, labor shortage was one of the setbacks that the executives of West Central Mall Incorporated had to face during the 2.5-year construction of the facility. During his remarks, developer Hemraj Albert said the road to the finish line was not easy.
The gap for social entity, for entertainment and cohesion was missing in Region 3. It is with this gap that we prospected for ideas when we acquired the land. I am pleased to say that the idea of a shopping mall was aborted. We faced many challenges in logistics, weather, increased prices of materials, and significant shortages of labor. As we all know, Guyana needs about 100,000 more skilled labor right now because of the development of the country.
Meanwhile, Tourism Industry and Commerce Minister Onaj Waldron, in brief remarks, highlighted the tourism pull and attraction that the West Central Mall brings. Pooja Rambrand for the Evening News.
Immediate and important needs of schools, especially those within the hinterland regions, are now being addressed with the newly introduced school grants, where it is no longer a case of square pegs in round holes. Rupa Sinarayan reports.
As the distribution of the school grants kicked off in Region 9, head teachers from various schools underscored that they will no longer have a surplus of materials which are not needed, while other critical items remain in deficit. Terence Brash, head teacher of Arapaima Primary School, lauded this initiative by the Education Ministry as a game changer. This position was also taken by other head teachers in the region.
This program, I think, is hitting the nail on the head because most times teachers cry of materials, be it for teaching, be it for class development. I think that this program will change the whole setting of teaching. It will bring in teachers to be more objective with their planning. They will be able to achieve their objective because they would have materials in their hand to implement their objectives.
At Sand Creek, we have difficulty getting stuff. So this initiative here will enable those students, especially those in the dorms, to have the resources available to them, as well as have them being exposed to more subjects. For example, we have want to add a business stream, so they will have the added resources that to take them. Now we've also added some more science subjects to our curriculum.
We now have the opportunity to make our own purchases. For example, in my schools, I have been having a lot of chalk, a lot of materials and items that my school would not need. Now I have the opportunity to do my own purchase as such. This initiative is a great one.
For many years, the ministry had received complaints from teachers and parents alike that enough independence had not been given in the identification of needs of the classroom and procurement of products or services. In fact, teachers themselves would have to expend their own salaries to change that reality. In August, the Education Ministry announced that each school would be given a value per child. On the coastland, it would be $4,000 per child, and in the hinterland, $5,000 per child. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
We now tell you that as Guyana continues to push its food security agenda, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa today outlined to farmers in Region 5, Mahaika Berbice, that they need to adapt new and modern techniques in order to increase their production output. Andrew Carmichael joins us with the details.
Region 5 is an agricultural-based region, being the country's leading cattle-producing region. Apart from that, cash crop and rice are also planted. However, residents of Bath, most of whom are cash crop farmers, recently met with Public Service Minister Sonia Parag, who has ministerial responsibilities for Region 5. She was able to get Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa to meet with the farmers to air their concerns. Among some of the issues raised was the need for fresh water for cash crop. Farmers also complained of spraying of waterways to kill unwanted vegetation.
But I didn't wait to come first. I asked MMA. I told them to come here with DNI, look at a resolution to the problem. And today I'm happy that farmers are receiving water with the intervention of the minister. These are the kind of things that we are doing as a government.
We get hundreds of heavy cattle in this housing scheme. I did try my rice. I did also my farming. I make several, I think I sent some from some WhatsApp, some video up to this crop line. You said, okay, man, plant more, grow more, but you plant more, grow more, other thing that destroy it. You understand? How it destroy my rice?
I want to explain if you know back like stuck in region 5, explain it at one time. Because you can't get a man this company all about a squat land and not fence. Right there where you go to cheese, now I'm going to show you all the land and where they want to fence.
What we'll do temporarily, we will develop the bush those land, and we'll have the cash crop farmers can start to graze their, the livestock farmers can start to graze their animal there shortly. In the meantime, we are working on the pastures that I spoke about, so that the conflict that exists between the cattle, rice, and cash crop farmers, we can ease that conflict. Dr. Waldron, who will be working with the cattle farmers. We have here the GRDD Deputy General Manager and the NARI CEO. They will be working with the various stakeholders to ensure that we resolve this conflict and disputes. So the next time we come here, we will not have that issue here. That comment was very passionate just now about the land there and them, his rice. His cow will go eat the man rice. Well, you know when your cow go eat the man rice, you're going to be charged and taken to the court and compensate the man. You understand? And you yourself give evidence against yourself.
The agriculture minister called on farmers to modernize the way in which they do agriculture, noting that this will lend to higher yields.
Things that you all raised just now are conflicts that have been existing in this country for centuries. The cow and rice conflict, you all know that. Cash crop and rice conflict. We have to find a solution. And you know, many farmers, be it livestock farmers, cash crop farmers, rice farmers, they want to continue to do things in the same old way that our foreparents did when they came to Guyana and expect to get better results. We can't. We can't do those things.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
In the wake of several prisoners, including at least one notorious criminal, escaping from penitentiaries across the country, the Guyana government, through the Ministry of Home Affairs, has undertaken steps to fortify prison security in order to prevent any further breaches. Lawanda McAllister tells us more.
The May 2023 escape of convicted killer Roydon Williams, known as Smalley, from the Mazaruni prison in Region 7 had exposed vulnerabilities within the prison system and raised questions about the effectiveness of current security measures. Williams, a high-profile prisoner who was shot and killed shortly after his escape, was serving time for multiple serious offenses, including 2 massacres in Guyana. He managed to escape from the Mazaruni prison facility with the help of some prison officials. His escape, according to the government, highlighted weaknesses in the prison's security apparatus. The incident resulted in a thorough investigation, leading to the identification of individuals who were charged in connection with Williams' escape. Home Affairs Minister Robertson BENN, speaking on the issue, emphasized the government's commitment to enhancing prison security.
A review has been done within the prison system with ourselves as to what resorts we have to, particularly in relation to where people ought to be kept and what interfacing that they would have with members of the public, and also the maintenance of the SOPs, the maintenance of the discipline, order, and the SOPs, that in the system we cannot relax, that we have to be constantly vigilant with respect to certain persons in the prison system. And I am glad indeed somehow that the episode that we had that experience with Roydon Williams was dealt with appropriately, and that we would have learned from the experience.
The prison service, in response to the incident, also announced a series of measures to curb the smuggling of contraband into the prison facilities. Tightening security protocols, increasing surveillance, and deploying advanced detection technologies are among the strategies being implemented to prevent the infiltration of illegal items into the prisons. These efforts are part of a broader initiative to create a more secure environment within the prison walls.
Well, apparently it's normal that there's contraband trading or movement of contraband into prisons. I would say that people are trying to find more innovative ways to carry things into the prisons, in shoes and so on. And it has been a long time experience of people throwing things over the fences. The truth is, the fact is that we're finding more and more of it. And even in relation to weapons and other contraband that the prison system is discovering with the joint services searches, it is much less reduced.
Lawanda McAllister, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, BENN concerned about gender disparity among inmates in rehab programs. Please stay tuned.
Superbet, your best bet. Did you know that you have a chance to win up to 15 million with sport betting? Simply place your bets at www.superbet.gy for your chance to be the next lucky millionaire. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. During a Thanksgiving service held on Friday to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Guyana Prison Service, GPS, Home Affairs Minister BENN vented his concerns about the gender imbalance among inmates participating in various rehabilitation activities. Luanda McAllister has more.
The Guyana Prison Service is celebrating its 40th anniversary under the theme Promoting Rehabilitation and Reintegration of Prisoners. Celebration kicked off with a church service on Friday, during which Home Affairs Minister BENN emphasized the need to address the limited involvement of male inmates in prison reform programs to prevent them from reverting to criminal tendencies after serving their sentences.
We're finding ways, in spite of the experience of COVID and the other disruptions, that we are involving them more in agricultural work, which has been significant over the last year or so, but particularly too, as you see, too, in relation to furnishing and training and so on. It's still at initial stages. There's much work to be done. We have to avoid the upsets of persons who are in prison who may be under the influence of drugs or still under the influence of persons who have violent pretensions. We're still at an early stage, but we want to involve more and more of the men, particularly in these activities.
Despite substantial engagement in agricultural activities, male prisoners show significantly lower participation compared to females. Minister BENN stressed the importance of transforming the prison service to facilitate the safe integration of prisoners into society.
I know there's a high participation in relation to the female prisoners in respect of these activities, but we have to advance more the issues of men being involved, and that we avoid the risks that may be inherent in them doing things aside of what they've been accustomed to normally, so that they could be better rehabilitated and we reduce recidivism in the prisons.
The Home Affairs Minister further highlighted the need for productive use of inmates' time to benefit society and mentioned ongoing initiatives including constructing new prisons and upgrading facilities. Meanwhile, products crafted by inmates from various prisons were on display during the event, demonstrating the diverse skills being nurtured within the prison system. In January of this year, the Guyana Prison Service embarked on comprehensive improvement plans. These initiatives include constructing new prisons and living quarters, upgrading facilities, modernizing penal legislation, and enhancing the successful reintegration of offenders into society. Reporting for the Evening News, Luanda McAllister.
We now tell you that the roof of the City Hall building in Georgetown, where major restoration works are currently being done, is expected to be completed within 2 months. Find out more in this Rupa Sinarai report. Education Minister Priya Manikchan on Friday commissioned the new Haslington Nursery School on the east coast of Demerara, ECD, which was constructed to the tune of $28 million. Pooja Rambaran has the details.
Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Anand Prasad, conducted a site visit to the building where he inspected the progress of works being done. During his visit, the minister engaged with the engineer of the contracting company, Fides Guyana Incorporated, who related the extension of works that has been done and additional work that they are yet to undergo. Minister Prasad said that the work is about 45% completed. However, based on the inspection, many works are yet to be completed, and as such, the company is expected to legally write to the ministry requesting additional time for the project. In 2022, the company was offered an extension with a promising timeline of June 2023. One challenge facing the contractor is the constant unavailability of special sizes of wood that need to be cut. The project, which initially cost $780 million, was awarded and signed on September 24, 2021. Due to the extensive work that was yet to be completed, the government further intervened and allocated some $263.1 million in this year's budget towards the project.
Assistant Chief Education Officer Devendra Prasad said that this new structure is in keeping with the government's commitment to enhance school facilities across the country to ensure children have the best learning environment.
I firmly believe that buildings, classrooms, laboratories and equipment, educational infrastructure are crucial elements of school learning environments. There is strong evidence that high-quality infrastructure facilitates better instruction, provides student outcomes, and reduces dropout rates, among other benefits.
Meanwhile, delivering the feature address, Minister Manik Chan reaffirmed that the government is investing in children across Guyana and will continue to do so to produce the quality of citizens that can further develop and move the country forward. To that end, she added that the new Haslington Nursery School is more than just a building.
In this building, children will reside and come out of that will help to run this country, that will help to run this world. And so it's far more than a building, but it must have begun with a building.
Haslington Nursery currently has 60 students enrolled and has recently received its school grants, amounting to a total of $240,000, to allow teachers to purchase items necessary for its smooth functioning. However, Manik Chan noted that while the government will continue to support teachers and students through these efforts, parents are encouraged to work alongside them as well.
We could give you all the cash grants, which you will get. We can give you the breakfast. We can give you the textbooks. We can give your school the grants. All of that we can do. But we can't come into your house in the morning, wake your children up, comb their hair, feed them, dress them, and send them to school. And we can't come into your house in the night and make sure you turn off all the loud music and put your children to bed routinely at a specific time.
To the teachers, Manik Chan urged them to continue working with their students so that they can produce children who can read at their grade level. The education minister said that this will go a long way in setting the foundation for children to be successful as they move through the school system. Pooja Brand for the Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, October 1st, 2023 at 5 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbridge River Bridge is expected to be closed at 5 hours 25 on Sunday, October 1st, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market compliments of GOVT. SBM VMFA team up for the Women's Football Project. This and more coming up in the Sportscast sponsored by McCorp.
Entrepreneurs, coconut byproducts are in high demand. How can you cater to that demand? By investing in a coconut shredder from Sylvie's. Guaranteed to increase your output, this 110-volt stainless steel machine shreds coconut in seconds, allowing you to also save on labor and time. From the shreds, you can create coconut powder, oil, milk, etc. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our 31 High and Hatfield Street store.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site